Daphne, my name is Beth, and I'm back today to do a Daughtry themed pick a card love reading. I just did this actually over on my Instagram page, and I do want to check my audio really quickly before I keep going here. There we go. And so I promised everyone over there that I was actually going to reshuffle and do it again over here, just in case somebody like is over there and is like, I want to test this theory and see if I pick the same card twice. So for today's lesson, okay, is really talking about love, talking about whether you just simply want to be loved or whether you are wanting to keep trying to prove to others that you're lovable. And only one out of these three cards, and of course, and there's two tarot cards here, but like underneath is one of the a Daughtry song, and one song out of three is really about simply wanting to be loved. The other two are about proving yourself. So essentially, this is kind of like a test to see what people get, to see like where they're at. And again, you could watch me over on Instagram as well to see like what you pick over there, because I'm doing this because I want to focus on love. And I think the issue right now for a lot of people, regardless of where you are in life, whatever age you are, whatever gender you are, whatever race you are, it doesn't even matter. Like wherever you're at, I feel like people fall into one of these two categories. They are simply in a place of wanting love, or they're in a place of needing or wanting to try to prove to others that they're lovable, and it's not even conscious. Like they don't even really understand what they're doing. And I said on my Instagram recording that essentially so many people are interested in situationships, are dating multiple people, and they couldn't pick a partner to save their life. They have no idea what love is about. Some people don't even know what love actually is. Some people think, okay, love is marriage. Some people think love is like they have this religious aspect or religious perspective to love. And, the thing about it is I feel like if we all were really understanding what love was about, I feel like we would be in a place of simply wanting to be loved or simply being a loving human being. But I think most of us have really struggled with it, with having that kind of simple kind of love. And we somehow fall down a rabbit hole of a third party situation, a lying, cheating situation, a situation where there's somebody who doesn't treat us right, but we accept it or we deal with it. Situations that just are not really about love. So I'm back today to really kind of like challenge everybody and test everybody and see, where you guys are at. And, please leave in the comments, what pile you've picked. Okay. Today I'm going to go through each pile, and give you time to pick. Essentially each pile is going to be talking about if you are wanting to be loved or in that place of wanting to be loved, or if you are really needing to break away from a cycle of trying to prove to others. I think I lost connection there for a second, but I'm going to pick up where I left off. So that's what we're doing today. And pile one is this pile right here. So this is pile one. Underneath these two cards, we've got one of the Daughtry's songs that I've picked. This is pile two. Those of you who, are trying to feel it out, take a moment and look at pile two. And then we've got pile three. This is three here, this one right here. So take a moment and see if that resonates with you. And I'm just going to reveal the cards as I go along. Okay, so we're going to start with pile number one. Those of you who have picked pile one, this is the reading for you. Move this over here. So pile one the Daughtry theme song was Crawling Back to You. And for those of you who missed my live recording yesterday, I went through a whole Daughtry phase. I really love his music. I've learned so much about love and life through his music. And, this song in particular talks about cycles. Over on Instagram, I had only one card, and the card that I had pulled was the Ace of Swords. I pulled another for this reading, and this one is the Tower in reverse, which really, really, to me, amplifies up the energy of toxicity or the energy of being in a situationship or a situation that's not the best or not the healthiest, or wanting to get out of a situation that's not the best or not the healthiest. The Ace of Swords in the reverse to me talks about investing your time to someone who's not worthy. So it's interesting because today's lesson is about this question of, do you want to keep trying to prove to others that you're lovable? And that to me talks about self-worth, that the root of the problem is not feeling worthy of love, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you have anything to offer. Some people do not know what they bring to a relationship. Some people feel like they can't bring anything to a relationship. Some people feel like they have a low self-esteem or low sense of self-worth. And a lot of this all stems from childhood. You can look back at childhood and be like, okay, how did you feel when you were growing up? Did you get in trouble a lot? Did you feel like you weren't good enough or that you weren't worthy enough? And I think all of us have at least a little bit of that in our consciousness. Like, I honestly, truly believe everybody is that way, where there's a little bit of self-doubt or low self-worth. And we're all trying to prove to each other that we're good enough or prove that we are lovable. But the truth is that you're lovable no matter what you do. And you're worthy of love no matter what you do. The problem is that it's, a lot of times you can invest in people that don't treat you right. They don't show up for you. They're not invested in you. They may be invested in more than one person. And the problem is it doesn't reflect a positive self-worth. So there's a lot of patterns here. Now, I do want to talk about the Tower for a second in reverse, because the Tower to me in reverse is about red flags. And it's also kind of like, I don't know how to say this, the Tower in reverse to me is about a constant worry about things going bad, things going wrong, constant worry about where you're going to live, how you're going to survive, how you're going to put food on the table. To me, it's like an extreme, severe, I don't know how to say this, period in your life where you are under severe stress or under severe worry about major things, and having to constantly kind of go around in a circle or a cycle where you're not able to feel loved and supported. You're not able to get the things that you need. It's a struggle, it's strife. But it's like this constant thing where to me the Tower reverse is like a constant alarm bell going off in your head. I gotta prep, I gotta plan, you know what I mean? It's just this cycle of being constantly worried about stuff. So in some way, the people that picked this group 1 for pile 1, I feel like you're not necessarily number one in a space to really just want a simple kind of love. I feel like the love that you're going to attract is more complicated. The love that you're going to attract is kind of like in some way very, very blind, because you're not paying attention to any signs. So someone may give you a warning sign that says, I'm really not into commitment at this time. That's a red flag, but you don't pay attention to that. Or, they might tell you, they just want to sleep with you. But again, you're kind of ignoring the signs or the red flags and things like that. Going back to the Ace of Swords, I talked about this over on Instagram, and this is, I call this the King Arthur situation, where there's the sword and the stone, and only the story goes where only a worthy person could pull out the sword from the stone. and because it was stuck. And in reverse, to me, the sword is stuck because you're investing your time and energy into somebody who's not worthy, in the sense that they are just not going to treat you right, or they just haven't treated you right. And they may not have planned to, or that might just not be in their, like, a possible mode of function. Like, sometimes we can see the best in people, and like we can want better for them, want better for ourselves, but then like not actually do anything about it. To me, the Ace of Swords is inaction, not speaking your truth, not speaking up when you need to, not standing up for what's right, not taking a stand. To me, there's like a cowardly energy to the sword, Ace of Swords, where like it's a person who has very low self-esteem, very low willpower, cannot, for whatever reason, speak their truth. They will, if somebody is stronger willed, they will back down to the other person. They'll cave to the other person. So, there's a lot of complicated things that can come through with this Ace of Swords in reverse, as well as the Tower in reverse. But the song, to me, of the Daughtry song, talks about coming back after, like a breakup or a fight or something. Obviously I don't know like what the true meaning of the song is, but that's what it always kind of meant to me. And, being humbled, or realizing after the fact, like after you broke up with someone, that what they actually mean to you. So this could also mean for some of you where you've taken a break, or you've taken time for yourself, or you've decided, okay, we're going to break up, and then like for whatever reason you've made up. Okay. The only caution here is because we have both the Tower reverse and the Ace of Swords, is that I would tell you that for the majority of you, you need to work on your self-worth. You need to believe that you're worthy of love no matter what. You need to really, really like stop trying to prove to other people that you're lovable, because that mode of function isn't going to get you a relationship. Now, this is going to be really hard for some people. Like, there's some people that are like, no, I am worthy of love. I love myself. I love my life, all this stuff. And they still might have picked this card, or this one pile. So if that's the case, then you may not even be recognizing how much you're putting into a relationship and like not getting very much back. You might be putting a lot in, but you might getting like just like a crumb here, a crumb there, a text here, random text there. It's not a fully engaged person. Like, they're not fully invested in you. And some of you want to believe like that there is a person in your life that is a better human being than they are, or that they intend to be. I feel like that is going to be the case. My guides are confirming that that's going to be the case for many of you. Many of you want to believe that whoever it is that you're dating is going to turn out to be something. And most likely you're putting in more energy into that relationship than they're giving you. There's like a disbalance there. That's what I want to say for pile 1. So we're going to move on to pile 2. Now, those of you who may have not picked yet, the thing about this is that you can think of a person, if you want to test this, think of a person that's in your life, or that you want to kind of like want to know if, if like what's going to happen with that relationship, or if they are going to be good for you, kind of thing. Or you could ask about any person. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be anybody, but you could also ask about yourself. So think of a person, or think about like yourself, where you're at with your love life, or think about a person that's just to test it and see what comes through, to see what we get. Now I'm going to move on to pile 2. Pile 2, this is what we got. And this Daughtry song to me is really, really special. This is the Life After You song. And to me, this is the only card which really talks about just a simple kind of love, just being loved for you, just finding like someone that's going to love you, not having learned the lesson, okay? Having learned the lesson of not needing to prove yourself, not needing to work on self-worth so much, just being in a simple place of looking for something simple that's, in the song is, the lyrics, all that I'm after is a life full of laughter as long as I'm laughing with you. And to me, it's like a beautifully simple kind of way of approaching love, being together, and it's funny, like there's this old couple that's walking in the complex, and they're just walking along together, and one's got a walker, the other one's kind of just hanging out. It's someone, like, the thing about it is it's, to me, love has always been kind of like friendship. It's always been about just like, can you simply hang out with each other and like each other at the end of the day? Can you go for a walk together and like talk about things and just like vibe, And the thing is to me, this is simple. This is not, this is having really like gotten to a place where you're just no longer in a space of wanting the BS, wanting any kind of situationships. This is just a simple kind of love, and also understanding like what really matters in life, and that love really does matter to you, and that love is important. And like the thing about this, and it's funny, I pulled a second card for this pile. I had pulled originally for my Instagram reading the Three of Cups, but here I also pulled the Four of Cups. And I feel like in some way, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, this has a little bit of a different vibe than I was getting over on Instagram, and that's going to be normal because there's different viewers over there. But the vibe that I'm getting here from the Four of Cups is, to me, I don't know how to say it, needing hope, I guess, that needing to believe in love again, or needing to have hope that you're going to find someone, or needing to have hope that you're going to be loved for you. Or needing to have hope that there are people out there that want a simple kind of love, that want a simple kind of relationship. Needing to have encouragement that you're no longer going to be lonely for the rest of your life, or that you're not going to be alone for the rest of your life. I feel like there is a strong loneliness vibe, a single vibe to this reading, more so than there was over on Instagram. So for some of you that picked this card, you're probably ready for love, and you may have a lot of love to offer, and you're not into cheating, you're not into situationships, you just want a simple kind of love, but maybe you have not gotten there yet, like you just haven't found that yet. And for some of you, you don't know how to find it. You don't know where it is. You don't know how to look for it. You're not necessarily open to it. And you might actually have, and the Four of Cups, has a very dreamy quality to it, okay? Where you might have not a fairy tale perspective, but like a kind of dream-like approach to love, or belief about love, that like love is just going to come into your life and you're going to meet someone at whatever time and it's going to be amazing and happily ever after and stuff like that. And to me, that's a very strong fairy tale like quality to love. And I feel like we've been taught that in school, or we've been taught that as kids, that love is a fairy tale, that love is very much about meeting your Mr. Right or Mrs. Right and living a happily ever after. And actually the message for most of you that may have that in your programming, okay, is that this card, the lesson for you, is not about that. It's about actually having a relationship with someone that is going to be positive or a match for you. It's not about like finding a perfect person. It's finding someone that you can just be friends with, you can hang out with, that wants to be with you, that wants to be in your life. And I tell people this all the time, and I will tell you this here, is that to me, a relationship is less about the agenda and more about the other person and how you go together. It's about how your personalities match. It's about bringing the best out in each other. It's about, do you just want to go out and get some food together, or do you want to just, take the dog for a walk somewhere? It's less about this kind of fairy tale kind of approach. And if you approach, or to continue to approach relationships in either a fairy tale kind of way, or approach it in the sense where you're not focused on finding a person to love you, you're more focused on, say, finding your Mr. or Mrs. Right, that's going to be, your happily ever after, then I feel like you're going to be very, very disappointed, because the Four of Cups is extreme disappointment. Some of you may have been disappointed in love before. Like maybe you have a big heart. Maybe you have, been wide open as far as having positive relationships and really being in a good place with wanting relationships, but you've been disappointed. I feel like for some of you in love, you've been disappointed, and part of that disappointment is natural. The other part of that disappointment is, the programming that kind of sets everybody up for failure to think that we're gonna get into a happily ever after situation, and most of the time, it's not based on this kind of simplicity. It's based on something else. And to me, this song is so beautiful in the sense that it's just about a simple kind of love that's not focused on this, we got to have it, getting married and all this stuff, or we got to, have the 3-car garage and the kids and stuff. It's not about that. It's really about just having each other. And this card made me cry over on Instagram, and this card's going to make me cry again. It's about having each other. To me, that's what love is about. It's about having each other to get through the tough times with, but also to laugh with. Someone that's going to cheer you up, on a crap day, be there for you through thick and thin, when it's raining, when it's sunny. There's a card that I made in one of my tarot decks that talks about, to me, love is someone that cheers you up on a rainy day, that you can hang out with and watch a movie with and be with, and there's no agenda to it. And yeah, you could get married, and yeah, you could have a family, but most people get married and have a family with people that they're not expecting to get married and have a family with. Most people get married and have a family, and it's a blended kind of family. Sometimes there's children before, and sometimes there's children after. Sometimes it's interracial, sometimes it's mixed gender, sometimes it's just different than what's out there and what's portrayed. And you know what? All of that is totally acceptable, because to me, that is the reality of love. It's not this perfectly packaged, like I said, 3-car garage house with the 2.5 children kind of love. It's the, looking at each other and look at each other's flaws and say, you know what, those are okay. I love you anyways. I like your flaws. I like your imperfections. I like the fact that you're honest and that you're true and that you're just going to show up to love me. It's a kind of beautiful kind of love. And I really wanted to talk about this because I feel like people nowadays really just don't quite get it. And I don't know why. I feel like we're slipping farther and farther away from any kind of true love that there is. I feel like people are going farther and farther away from what is authentic to them. I feel like they're going farther and farther away from any kind of simple love, more into something that's terribly complicated and horribly just kind of messed up and horribly disappointing or horribly heartbreaking, because it's just not satisfying, So I don't know, I want to encourage everybody that picked pile two to really um, continue to believe that you're going to have a simple kind of love, but to me, you're going to have to take the leap in the sense that you're going to have to change your belief systems. You're going to have to believe that there's an imperfect person out there for you that's going to show up to love you. But you're going to also have to believe, even though you may already believe that you just want love, you may still have to believe more that you're worthy of love and that believe that it's going to happen at some point. But you also, and I will say this, the Four of Cups to me is whether it's an upright or not, is about needing to make something happen. And the Four of Cups to me has a checked out, like I said, a kind of checked out quality to it, an impersonal quality to it. This is like there's a lot of texting here, and there's a lot of being kind of isolated or in a bubble. There's going to need to be a step out of this bubble that you're in, whatever bubble that there is for you. I feel like for those of you who picked this one, and I feel like for those of you who picked this one, some of you just need to like stop dating multiple people and just date one at a time. And I know that's going to sound totally crazy in 2023, but I'm going to tell you that that's the best thing. Like if you meet someone that you like, date them until the bitter end. And then, if you break up, then you move on to the next one. But like dating multiple people isn't really going to get you anywhere. And those of you who are dating multiple people, I would say, okay, if you're dating 3, cut it down to 1. If you're dating 4, maybe cut it down to 2 and then cut it down to 1. To me, the Three of Cups is tying the knot or becoming really, really close with one person and having an actual relationship. But this is also being okay to be single. Like some people have a really hard time with being alone and being single. And, I totally vibe that because there's been times where I've been like that. But I think like when you're okay finally to love yourself enough to be alone and be single and like, okay, you're like, all right, I'm alone and I'm single and I'm okay. Then that's when you actually meet someone because you're okay. Like you're not in a sad, like there's what's that line from Sex and the City? He's like, nobody likes a sad gal, So like you're going to have to really shift, I feel like, for some of you. Like some of you, you're on track to having a very close, tight-knit relationship with one person. And some of you, you want it so much that you're so disappointed that you haven't gotten it yet. And it's pushing you to it's like in some way, you're desperate. Like you're so disappointed. You're so over whatever it is that you've had. And for some of you, you absolutely need counseling. You need healing. You need to realize that, like, to me, there's a lot of victim savior kind of stuff. Like some of you like want somebody to save you, or some of you want like that's what a relationship is going to do for you, kind of thing. And again, if you're in this space of all that you want is a life full of laughter with someone, to me, that's different than wanting to have someone rescue you or wanting to have someone, like save you or you rescuing somebody else. Like, I feel like some of you are in kind of need of rescuing, but it's not healthy for this. It's just not. To me, there's contrast. But to me, this is a beautiful card. It's a beautiful energy. And this is a very, very positive, good sign that you're on the right track. Even if you think that you're not, you're still on the right track. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. And anybody who picked pile 3, this is pile 3. In pile 3, the theme song is the Daughtry Separate Ways Worlds Apart official music video featuring Lizzie Hale. This, honestly, this song really has rocked my world. And I can't even tell you, it's kind of like the music that I wanted to listen to when I was a teenager, but like couldn't find it. Like I was always kind of on the search for this song. I don't know why. Like I can't really even explain it. Like I used to go and I used to listen to all these albums and like talk to people about music, and I'd be like, I want something more. And I just can't find it. And like it's this song that's like the something more that I've wanted for a long time. So I said in my video yesterday my live video that I was Daughtry inspired, that I was kind of looking for my 2023 theme song, and I feel like this is my 2023 theme song. In the sense that like it's I've learned so much from this song, and it's just like a certain vibe that it's like a kind of intensity um that that I really like enjoy. And I don't know how to explain it, but this is the song, okay? And if you want to listen to it, but this does talk about kind of separating and going your separate ways from a person. And it also talks about, like sometimes people break up just because they just things aren't going to work out, or they decide they don't want to be together anymore. But this to me also talks about unconditional love. And it talks to me about like the pain of not being able to be with someone, or the pain of not, I don't know, not, like having separated and like feeling like you're missing something, or like you want to be with a specific person. It's kind of like a more intense kind of love. But there is something still about self-worth here. Okay. So like there is something still which talks about it's a lack of simplicity, right? So like you may have had more of a complicated love life. Like you may have had more of like a string of painful breakups. Some people go through a lot of, painful divorces, they go through things where their experiences with love are just more intense, or they're more blocked from love because they're afraid of getting hurt. It's sort of like craving like an intense relationship, but then if you're faced with it, then it's like deer in the headlights, and you're like, no, 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 no. You know what I mean? Like you want to run, So I don't know, like there's a lot of things that like I think about when I think about this card, and I think that some of you may, for whatever reason, have picked this for you, or you may have picked this for someone that you were thinking about, and you may have already like separated from them, or like taken a break from them, or like be in a no contact. But like to me, this feels more of like a serious thing, where it's like they really seriously hurt you, or like they're capable of seriously hurting you, and you're afraid of that. Now, the card that I talked about over on Instagram was the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And to me, this is like a beautiful human being. This is a person that just has like everything going, in the sense that like they're beautiful on the inside and the outside. Maybe they have a good job, or maybe they, they have a lot of interests. They have a lot of hobbies. They like to give back. They're a person that likes to contribute to the community. They're just like a well-rounded human being, a beautiful human being. Sometimes this can indicate like natural medicine professionals, doctors, people that are kind of more high-powered, but at the same time still very humble. So they just show up in the community as, like I said, very smart, well-rounded individuals that have very full lives. And this is, again, this could be someone that, you were in a relationship to, or someone that you are interested in. And I said before over on Instagram that this was kind of more like a maybe, in the sense that you could be with this person if you wanted to be with this person, because there's love there. You could. And if you loved yourself more, you would actually be more open to this person, and you might not be as afraid of this person. Like when we meet people that are kind of like beautiful human beings, it's a scary thing, but to me, this is, yeah, this is just kind of a maybe in the sense that if you, let's just say hypothetically, separated or divorced from somebody, you may have still have a strong connection to them. You may still want to be with them. Like there's to me, there's a part of like everybody, like when we separate, that leaves a piece of ourselves behind. And like there's something times like we need to reconnect with that, you know? My guide is showing me that. So it's like to me, this is like like a yearning or a wanting for like a deeper type of connection or reconnecting with somebody, taking things to the next level for some of you, wanting to be with someone real bad. Um, it's intense to me. Like this song is very intense. It's not necessarily just linear in the sense like okay, like story goes okay, we broke up, goodbye. You know, it doesn't feel like that to me. This song to me is about loving hard, like loving really intensely, um, really wanting to be with someone, really um, wanting to take things to the next level or get really involved with someone. Um, and like the fear of like the pain that's going to come with loving someone that much. Like when you meet someone and you have like a deep connection, the stakes are higher, the risk is more. It's just, that's just the way it is. And you kind of have to accept that. You have to say, okay, this is how we're going to weigh it. You know, is it worth getting my heart broken over and potentially later in time and feeling really, really damaged? And the thing is like, you know, I think everybody is kind of addicted to breaking up because we're addicted to the pain of that separation. And that's part of the experience. That's part of like the matrix programming. It's part of like what we're here to experience. So I would tell you, and of course it's completely up to you, but like I would tell you, like it's better to live and love large rather than to not love anything at all. Because to me, there's like a contrast here. Are you going to be, you could just settle for being a shallow, not shallow, but like, you know, loving less, you know, and because we have this Ace of Pentacles here, which to me is about money. So you could settle for just living a well life, you know, enjoying your money, not necessarily getting in too deep, not necessarily having a very full relationship. And part of that again, and the lesson here is part of the reason you're doing that is because you're trying to prove to others that you're lovable, that you're worthy of love. If you felt really worthy of love, you would dive in and you would dive into the deep end because you would know that it would be worth it every moment, every single day. It's like, it's kind of like The Notebook. And I used to talk to my friend about this, where it's like The Notebook, where he's like, what do you want? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, it's going to be hard. He's like, but I want it because I want you. It's going to be hard every single day, you know? And it's just like kind of like the need to kind of invest or get invested into that kind of thing. And to me, that's romance. And I know I'm quoting The Notebook, but like, and it's not even totally a full quote, but still, like to me, that's romance. Telling somebody that you want them, that you want only them, that you're going to show up and hit it hard every single day, and that it's going to be hard, and you know it's going to be hard, but you're going to try at it and you're going to work at it every single day because you want them. You want that person. So I don't know. To me, there's an intensity about this song. There's an intensity and a choice kind of about being in pile three's boat. Do I feel like you know what love is? I do. But I feel like you're kind of in this weird gray area where you're just not quite sure if you should take the leap or if you should jump into the deep end or be as committed because you're scared of, okay, well, what if we break up? What if we get a divorce? For some of you, those of you who are married, maybe you're terrified of a divorce. Maybe you're terrified of losing something. Maybe you're terrified of breaking up with someone, or hurting someone. or someone hurting you, if they break up with you. So there's so much here with pile 3. I would tell pile 3, anybody who picked pile 3 to really schedule a reading with me, because to me this is very intense kind of energy, and it's a beautiful energy, and I encourage everybody to, I don't know, like I feel like I was thinking about this today, and this is really interesting. I don't think I said this over on Instagram, but I feel like everybody is living kind of so shallow. Like they're just skimming the surface. They're living a very material surface level life where they're not jumping in to relationships or to love in the way that's going to be really satisfying. And I think that for the majority of people, and including all the clients I've read for, people break up and people get divorced because of a lack of an emotional connection. Not because of the money, not because of the children or not the children, not because of their personalities, although that's definitely a big problem. Not because of who takes out the garbage and who cleans the dishes. It really is a lack of an emotional connection. So really what that tells me is that everybody is skimming the surface of what they could have in relationships, but they're just not doing it. And I don't know why. Like, not fully. Like, I can understand that there's pain and there's risk, but like, what's the point if you're not even going to try, or if you're not even going to jump in? So to me, there's the fear of what I think of as like the merge space. The merge space is like where you come together energetically with somebody else. To me, the fear of like a deeper connection, the fear of actually having a bond, the fear of actually having a simple kind of love and then maybe losing it. I feel like people, specifically with pile 3, may have a fear of not being loved in return, or may have a fear of losing like someone. To me, there's a fear. Like, you might meet someone that you love, then there's a fear of like loss of losing that person. Like, what's going to happen if you lose that person? Because you care so much, or because you love so much. To me, that's coming through as well. I'm going to leave off here. I know this is a really intense reading. Hopefully, you guys really appreciated this reading and got something from it. This was the lesson today. I'm going to take a last shot of that. And yeah, I just wish you guys the best, and I'll see you guys soon. I send everyone big hugs and big kisses. And please like and share, and comment below when this is finished processing, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, take care. Bye.